What's good, y'all? Another late night movie review. I've just finished watching HAVOC that was on Netflix. I did a reaction to it, I think, a couple weeks ago, and it looked really good. It looked like another crazy action movie by Gareth Evans, which he did write and direct this movie. And if you know Gareth, is that how you say his name? Gareth? Wait, hold on. Yes, Gareth Evans. If you know his movies, he made the legendary Raid movies. I believe what was it, Apostle? But I really know him from Raid Redemption and Raid 2. Love those movies. And so knowing who it was from and then seeing the trailer, to be real, what you see in the trailer is exactly what you get in this movie. It's very self-explanatory. It's simple, to the point, triple B's. And what I mean by that is blood, bone, and bullets. This movie has all three in its fullness. Gareth Evans loves his action, loves his brutality, and loves his bullets. So I'm going to get right to what I think of this movie. It was enjoyable. It was because, like I said, when you know what to expect from someone who likes Raid and Redemption and Raid 2, you know the director, you know his angle, and then you see the trailer, you feel his energy in that trailer of what he's going to do, what he likes, what you're going to expect. I enjoyed it for what it was. Is it a Oscar-worthy, crazy storyline, good written movie? No. But just like how I like those Jason Statham movies I did on my movie review for The Working Man, it's the same way when it comes to these Gareth Evans movies. I said it I think I said in the reaction, I said, this looks like a crazy action movie, and that's all I actually expect from Gareth Evans, from Raid and Raid 2. I don't expect anything crazy storyline or nothing like that. Plot. The plot is very simple. I'm telling y'all this. Go into this movie, because I do encourage you to watch it. It is rated R for those who don't know. This is an adult only movie, in my opinion. Just like I always like giving those warnings. But I will advise watching it. To be real, I wish it was in theaters. Personally, I like movies like this. Straight up action, to the point. Like I said, blood, bone, and bullets. Oh, great cinematography. I love his direction when it comes to these movies. This one in particular, I love how it looks like an animation or a video game turned into real life. You had to see it to know what I'm talking about. Even my wife was saying it because she was watching it with me. She was like, I like how it looks. It looks like a video game turned to live action. And I love how he did that. I'll just give you a quick rundown of what the plot is without giving spoilers. A cop that's going through a lot. Hold on. Hey, wifey's going to join me in this review. Okay, so here's wifey. This is the late night review, so the atmosphere is dark. Yes. Let me see. Maybe if I do this a little bit, it helps. But so yeah, down on his luck cop, played by Tom Hardy, which, by the way, shout out to him. I thought he did well. He plays as Tom Hardy. If you've seen Venom, if you've seen, heck, you feel a little bit of Bane in here. He plays as Tom Hardy. There was nothing like he stepped out of his zone. But anyway, a down on his luck cop had to now deal with a situation from his past, something that's already been haunting him, messing up his family situation, his friend's situation, his relationship with the police department. He's a cop. Sorry for not mentioning that. But he's already dealing with that, and now something of his past has come back to, I don't want to say haunt him, it sounds dramatic, but comes back for him to handle. And now he has to meet up with Forrest Whitaker, who's a politician, and you realize those two have a certain relationship. Something happened in the past, which again, I'm not going to spoil, but something happened in the past where you could tell they don't like each other, but they have to now work together to fix a situation that came up of their past. Again, I'm not going to spoil that. Actually, yes, I can spoil that part because that was in the trailer. Forrest Whitaker's son did something very stupid with the wrong people. And now because of that, it goes back on Forrest Whitaker on his, which makes him look bad as a politician. And he asked Tom Hardy, can you help me with this? Because you know what we did. It was kind of that movie. So yeah, now that that's come back to haunt both of them, Tom Hardy decides, okay, I will agree to help if I'm able to get a certain situation happen for him. Again, I'm not spoiling it, but that's basically the gist of the whole story. So now Tom Hardy has to go find Forrest Whitaker's son, help him. And in the middle of getting from A to B, turns into this huge Like I said, blood and bone and bullets.
It was a blood
Action scene. It was Gareth Evans. Again, if you know Raid Redemption, it was that. Except just no, I accept nothing. It was exactly that. Like I said, the plot is very simple. Get from point A to point B, but in the middle of getting from point A to point B, you got to deal with all this hell. And there is a lot of plot armor, but that's how his movies are. The main actor always survives things that you know if he was a side character, there would have been no way. But I have to give Gareth credit. The action was intense, high pace. The gunplay, I love the gunplay in this. The sound effect with them, like Tom Hardy had this pistol, and like I love sound and visuals and stuff like that. And I was sitting there just enjoying how the gunplay around the sounds with the sounds with the gunplay was done very well. I will say as a downfall was the shaky cam. There was a lot of shaky cam.
There was.
So not enough to give me a headache. Usually shaky cams give me a headache. So I think that's a good thing that this one didn't. I was able to still catch what was going on. But there is a lot like going left, it is shaking, and this is happening. But the choreography of the fights were good. The gunplay, the characters. Tom Hardy has this partner who's a cop who wants to do the right thing, who's always aiming to do the right thing. She was given a lot of justice.
All of the women in the movie were.
Yeah, that's true. Even there was a villain.
Yes.
I don't want to spoil. I want to spoil it so bad, but there was a scene with this. I wouldn't say senile, but she was an older crime boss. She had this one scene out.
She was giving John Wick energy.
She was literally had a John Wick moment. That's all I'm gonna say. But yes, Gareth Evans did very well with the gunplay, the violence, the action. This is, if you just want a cool, intense hour and a half action movie, this is definitely it. Will I say when I finished the movie, oh, the plot was amazing? No, but that's not what I came in looking for. But people who don't know Gareth Evans and how he does like these action movies, I'll tell you that. So right now, it's a simple man trying to fix his dirty past movie. That's it. Action movie. With tons of action. Tons of action. And in my opinion, it was done well. What did you think was done well?
I think it was done well. I wanted more story.
Yeah,
I wanted more story, but he told me he's not known for doing story.
Not from the movies I've seen. Maybe it was other ones I haven't seen, but from what I've seen him do, it wasn't. That's why I said I came into it not even expecting it. I would have been shocked if it was like, dang, this story's deep. It wasn't. You know, you've seen this plot hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
That's why I said you just come in to see how he does the action this time. And I like that. And it had a lot of it. That's one thing I'm glad it was an hour and a half. They didn't try to drag it, having just a lot of walking and complaining and crying. No, they got straight to the point. The action scenes in broad daylight and at nighttime was done well. It was some shocking. I was like, dang. There was this one moment in broad daylight with Forrest Whitaker. I was like, oh my goodness. But
I think it lived up to its name.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's true.
It was what is it now?
HAVOC. Yeah, that is exactly right. So if you coming in you just want a good action movie, or if you saw this trailer, you like, look, does it just live up to the name? Absolutely. So, and it's on Netflix. Personally though, I will be real with you. I would have paid theater tickets to see that because that's my kind of movie. What you say?
I would have seen it.
Yeah, especially when you see the action. Yeah. That would have been cool to see that on a big screen. So, you have to see to know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would say it was a good watch.
What would you rate that out of 10?
For an action movie, I would say 7 out of 10.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. It was better than average.
Yeah.
And I like Tom Hardy, so that was one thing. But he literally acts just like Tom Hardy. But yeah, go ahead.
Tom Hardy, he was the main character.
Yeah.
Who was the side cop that was the bad character?
Never seen her before.
Not the girl. The guy who you said was in.
Oh yeah, he was the villain in Die Hard. Hold on. Yeah, Timothy Olyphant or something like that. But yeah, he was Hitman. I remember that he was Agent 47. That's the show. I was like, he was in a very famous show, Justified. Okay. but he was the main villain, Live Free, Die Hard, which I really know him from. Yeah, everybody did a heck of a job, but I just went in. I was like, bro, I come in to see action. If it's a little bit, I'm be disappointed. Literally, that would have messed up the movie for me. It did not disappoint in there, so I'm happy.
It was all action.
Yes, and it was done well. There was this, but you have to take reality out of your head because there are some moments you're like, how are you alive? You know.
So many moments.
But it wasn't done in a goofy way like Fast and Furious was, like later in their movies, where I don't have to go through that. But it was still moments where it was like, how did you live? Yeah. There's no way you lived through that. But it was still entertaining, nonetheless. But it's, it's a movie. You don't take it seriously. It didn't say based on a true story. But yeah, so
it's a bloodbath.
Yes.
It kind of put me in the mind of what is that? Boy, not Boy Meets World, but Boy Kills the World.
Oh boy, I think Boy Kills World. I think is that what
like that. It put me in the mind
with Bill Skarsgård when he played a deaf and a mute or something like that. So that was a good one too.
Yeah. Not like comically, but like
no, the action. Yeah, and the bloodbath. Yeah. So yeah, that's really it. And it's on Netflix. So if you got Netflix, I know some people ask, is it worth getting a subscription? I would. Like I said, I would have went to the theater to see it. So I would pay for the month to go see it because the production was very well done. Music, scenery, cinematography, directing, action, all that stuff. It was not, you could tell he wasn't lazy. It's just, he's not here to make an Academy Award story either. So yeah, get a good thrill with whoever you watch movies with, by yourself, with someone, whatever. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know it's dark, but you know how I do my late night reviews. And this time, Wifey's here. Wait, what would you you said 7. You said 7. All right, well, I'll check y'all later. Take care.